Hello and welcome to the channel for the third part in the series of bringing back to life Barney, the 1982 barn find Honda CT 110 Trail. If you saw part 2, I managed to get Barney to start, but that's just the beginning. Now is the challenge to get him to run reliably, smoothly. I removed the battery cover and that had a really nasty surprise for me in there. You'll get to see that. Also had a problem with the advance and retard mechanism. Continue the work on bringing Barney back to life. As you can see, I've fitted a centre stand simply to make Barney easier to work on, and I've also fitted a new front brake lever and a brake cable. And so first of all, I wanted to check the battery. No doubt after being unused for so long, the battery will probably be no good anyway, will need replacing. But I removed the battery cover and this is what Barney had in store for me. I don't know if you can see what's in there. That looks like, is it a rat or a huge dead mouse stuck in there behind the battery? Yuck. Now let's have a look at this. Now, are you ready? Look at that. Oh, yuck. Look at the tail on him. Oh. Well, I've fitted a new spark plug and a new spark plug cap. I've adjusted the valve clearances, the tappets. Now I'll look at the points, setting the points gap and checking the ignition timing. I'll also point out the fault that I had recently with the advance and retard mechanism, and I'll show that to you right now. So I'll just take the points plate off. If you know that your ignition timing is correct, you can scribe a line across if you need to remove this plate for whatever reason, and then when you put the plate back on, align the marks and you'll know that your timing, the ignition timing, will be unchanged. Hope you can see for the shadows. I've got the big light in the sky illuminating my videos, so I'll just remove the grommet and the point plate will slide out like that. What was happening the other day, the bike would idle but it wouldn't rev up, and what happens, this is the automatic advance and retard. As the engine revs increase, the bob weights are flung out, acting against the springs and through the mechanical linkage there that moves the cam lobe around and advances the timing. As the revs slow down, the springs, the fly weights have less effect, the springs pull back the mechanism and the timing is retarded back to 10 degrees. And what had happened, this was seized in there, so I freed that off, lubed it all up. Make sure the springs are still in good condition and attached. They can sometimes deteriorate and fling off. You'll hear a tinkle noise when that happens. That happened on my other bike. So that's fine. You're never going to get your bike to run right if that's seized, so I'll fix that up first. I'm hoping you can see these timing marks. You've got the line there with the letter T onto the outside of it. T for TDC, top dead center, when the piston is at the top of the cylinder. A line there with the letter F for fire or ignition. So just take note that the actual marks are on the inside and the letters are either side. We've then got these two marks, and that's when we test the advance and retard mechanism using the strobe light. With the engine idling, this line should line up with the pointer in the casing, and that's 10 degrees before top dead center. Our ignition timing is set when we rev the engine to approximately 3,400 revs, and it should advance to between the two marks there, which is about 20 degrees before top dead center. As we reduce revs, it should return back to the fire mark here. And so the work on Barney has taken a different turn. The smoke that was coming out of the bike when I first started it, I thought that was due to the oil that I'd put into the cylinder to lubricate the cylinder. But I've run the bike for quite some time, fresh fuel, and it just seems to be getting worse. The bike is burning oil, and as you can see, smoking heavily. There's no point setting the ignition timing when I have to do a top end overhaul.